Alright, everybody, welcome to another episode of Creekside Radio. I'm your host, Creekside Productions. I'm coming to you right out of the heart of the Delta, between the valley and the bay. And, wow, it's been a very interesting week. We're going to be coming up to a full 7 days here up, or actually, we're going to be coming up to the full 7 days. It's going to be a full week since the presidential selection, and it's been really very interesting of all the content that's been coming out with his character, and it's really just something that has been absolutely in the play in the works for some time now, of how this was all going to go down. And it's kind of interesting how things came about, like how the Chicago Cubs, got into, right to the playoffs, and all the way up to the end they lost it. But then this year they won, and it's almost like the last presidential selection Donald Trump was supposed to run, but then he ended up backing out at the last minute. And so now, of course, he won this year. And there's a lot of correlation for that. And it goes back to Back to the Future. How, Donald Trump is in that movie Back to the Future. Biff Tannen is Donald Trump, and that is a fact. And it goes, back to the screenwriter himself, or whoever made up the character. And it's something to really look deeper into, and because this is all going to connect to Back to the Future had the future, had the past, it had the present at the time. And speaking about the future, time is now that the Chicago Cubs have won, in which they were supposed to win last year. And I think if they were actually thrown off, because damn well these damn games are rigged as well. Football games, baseball games, basketball games, all of them, they're all rigged. All the big championship games, playoff games, which one they want to pick and choose, they'll use. Essentially, the Chicago Cubs were supposed to win in 2015, and that would be actually too obvious, because you'd say, of course, 9/11 is in that movie, and it's crazy, that it got that close to being 100%. It basically got down to 99%. For the Chicago Cubs to be winning the championship. But most definitely they stopped that. That was just way too obvious. And see, it wasn't as important that it's been 108 years. Or let me say it like this. It would have just been too obvious. Let me just put it this way, because I could just start explaining stuff that's not even. The basics is, and the simplicity is, that they threw the Chicago Cubs games last year for them to lose, and this year they won. And for this year for them to win. And that's straight up crazy to even think about, because that's what happened. So we have this Donald Trump character, and as you see, I think he's only going to last if he even makes it. I mean, because this guy's gonna be going through some funny stuff, man. They're gonna have him jump all kinds of uh, pit sloops, holes, all kinds. He's gonna be having a. It's gonna be funny, interesting, crazy, weird. I mean, he's backed out on a few things. He's gonna say he's gonna deport. I mean, who knows? Who knows what in the hell is gonna be happening with this man? But it's gonna be something to really just keep on. I think we need to keep looking at Back to the Future. And okay, so that was what I was gonna say. Back to the Future. All right. I know I'm kind of going off here. It's almost the same scenarios. Basically, is what had happened with the Donald Trump characters in the movie Back to the Future, and in a quick snip out of The Simpsons, in which, of course, the episode was under Bart to the Future, and that's why I'm telling you that we need to keep studying Back to the Future movies, all three of them. Study them as much as you can. Come on, sit down. You gonna sit down or what? You wanna get off? I'm talking to my dog here. He's just taking a look at the ground. You don't know what he wants to do right now. Oh. What are you doing here? So that episode where Donald Trump was mentioned was Bart to the Future. And of course, right now we're talking about Back to the Future. So that's what I'm saying. Everything goes back to the future. And of course, the Trump had crashed the economy after Lisa, the president, had taken over. And if you watch Back to the Future, Part 2, the economy is jacked. Everybody's poor. Everything's just run down. It's gone to crap. And it's a place really not to be raising your children. So we got to see what's going to be coming up here. I mean, we still got till the 20th of January for him to become president. Right now, he's just president selected. He's just a selected president, but he's not the president right now. He's not, as of now, he's not the president, and we need to make sure we know that for right now, because anything can happen from this point on. Alright. And right now, I don't know if it's moved out of the way. I don't know if it's moved out of your guys' view. But that is the supermoon right there. And so, it's interesting. It's very interesting how they tell us that this moon, the reason why they call it the supermoon, because it has moved closer to the Earth, as they say. That's what they say, and that's what they claim. And it's basically they're just telling us that the moon moves. Then it moves on its own and its own self. So the moon moves as well, so does the sun. So the sun and the moon revolve around the flat Earth. The flat Earth round. This guy's just sitting on top of my damn radio here. Hey, let me check this out, buddy. Alright, I'm just gonna leave you guys off with seeing what's on the stations here. The moon.